Hello, hello, welcome back, guys. Absolutely horrendous news coming out of the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. Just now, it's breaking news and really horrible news. She said that the US government won't bail out Silicon Valley Bank. And as we have discussed in the previous video that I made, this is a disaster for lots of reasons that we're going to talk about. Now, a lot of people are thinking, taxpayers shouldn't be bailing out banks and things of that sort because, tax the rich and all that stuff. But you have to take this deeper and understand what this means for the overall economy because this could signal a massive disaster and an avalanche that can severely hurt the US economy, like really, really hurt it, even bring it down to its knees. And I'm really surprised. I'm actually really surprised that Janet Yellen actually said that, and they are not looking to bail out Silicon Valley Bank. This is a disaster looking to unravel. Now, what's happening here? She said that the reforms that have been put in place mean that we're not going to do that again, pretty much helping with a bailout, as they did, for example, with Lehman Brothers. And as Silicon Valley Bank and its belongings have been seized, so the deposits have been seized Friday, they are looking for potential sort of like bailouts from bidders. And some other news here is that the PNC, that's PNC Financial Group, has decided against bidding on Silicon Valley Bank, as regulators are struggling to find a buyer for the failed bank's assets, which is basically the only thing that we can hope for. But there is a huge, huge issue here that we really need to talk about and understand why this is a massive trouble. This causes massive trouble potentially for the whole U.S. economy. Now, when you are doing something of that sort and you are not going to be bailing out deposits, remember these are deposits. These are not investments. There's a very, very important distinction between deposits and investments, like a market fund, which is cash pretty much, and investments. Investments are risky, but a market fund is supposed to not be risky at all. It's supposed to be the same thing as cash. And the moment you basically steal, sort of like kinda get money out of people without actually them being to blame for anything, that's a huge, huge problem for the economic system and basically the trust, the credit system. Because remember, all of these things with the banks and all that, they are all about trust. Like if you cannot trust the bank, why are you going to be depositing money with them? If this, at some point, random point during the next year or so, your money could be gone for no reason without your fault. Like if they can do that, then how can you trust them? And again, if the whole banking system loses trust, it can eventually collapse, and it will collapse if that keeps on happening. And you can understand that this is a regional bank, and these kinds of banks do not have the same stress tests that the huge banks have. And so they can, if the regulations are not proper, they can come down to their knees. And this is what happened here in this situation with Silicon Valley Bank. And the problem is that people are losing trust to all these regional banks, and they can go down, pretty much creating a monopoly for the big guys. Like the JPMs, JP Morgan, and things of that sort, Bank of America, they're the big ones. And so this is insane trouble for the overall economy, again, because small businesses, people, everybody will be losing trust in the overall economy. And this is a huge, huge issue for pretty much sustaining and developing innovation in the US. It's a devastating news, pretty much. I frankly cannot really believe how this is happening right now. This is insane to me, the fact that they are taking this decision. And I really, really wanted to make a video and kind of talk a little bit about it, just bring you the news, because I think this is massively important. And this can actually cause, pretty much an overall set of events to happen in the upcoming weeks or even this week. Like you could see a lot of devastation in the markets. I wouldn't be surprised if we have deep red in the upcoming week because again, this is a pretty big news piece here, and this can cause a big financial crisis and a deep recession if they do not attend to that and they just let it be. This is absolutely horrible, and a lot of the money with SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, is about payrolls. It's about small businesses. It's not like the big tech. It's not like super huge businesses and rich people and cash hungry people. It's businesses that you and I could potentially be working for, and even small businesses. And so when you do that, you are collapsing them. And guess what? You are hurting your own economy. And so not bailing out these companies, it's not about like taxing the rich and pretty much blaming the risk, the rich, and not bailing out the rich and all that. It's about creating an environment that is going to affect everybody, and it's going to really hurt families and not the big guys. It's not about the big guys when when companies cannot actually do anything for their payroll. They cannot actually pay their employees. What are they going to do? They can potentially go bankrupt. And so this can actually cause a spiral of events when lots of companies, they won't be having the money to pay their bills, to pay their employees, and so they could bankrupt. So you can understand that for people who actually understand what this means, and again, they are not about pretty much yelling and being like, okay, tax everybody and don't let all these guys get all the billions and all that. If you really deeply understand these kinds of issues, you can see that this is horrible here. This can have devastating effects for the overall economy here. So this can really implode the markets as well, as I mentioned, and it's super surprising, frankly, very surprising. Now, I will be keeping you up to date with any other news piece that comes in. This week is probably going to be pretty weird. Again, I'm looking at all sorts of different news pieces here. Regulators race to contain Silicon Valley Bank fallout. But if you are not going to bail them out, you're going to cause a fallout. That's for sure. So yeah, stay tuned. We're going to be seeing what's going to be happening with upcoming events for Silicon Valley Bank. But we could potentially have a real fallout here. And again, I hope they reevaluate their stance here. I don't know, maybe they need the billions to help Ukraine. I don't know what they're doing here. But, just letting your economy die over such an event here and just, go to Ukraine? Like, is this the plan? Because Janet Yellen actually was in Ukraine like a week ago or so, something of that sort. I don't know why, but she was there. And this is very big here. So I hope there's going to be some sort of realization eventually, and they're going to help the bank recover, because this is about recovering the economy. It's not about the bank, frankly. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.